Okay, everybody, we're back for some more of my Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection 30th Anniversary Special, in which we're going to play a game for the Sega Genesis, and that game is Jeopardy! Deluxe Edition. Let's put our knowledge to the test and see how we do.
Jeopardy!
Today we're facing Jerry and Alicia, two ladies. One daily double is hidden up there somewhere.
Here are the categories.
Education, theater history, double talk, anatomy, cattle, and finally, Roman myths. Alright. I'll leave the categories as they are. We'll start with anatomy for 100. You have two of these joints where an iliac bone unites with the sacrum. What's a sacroiliac?
You are correct.
The main function of these teeth is biting. What are the molars?
Sorry?
Not the molars. The incisors.
You are correct.
I always get this clue wrong, but that's okay. The Roman goddess of love. The Roman goddess of love. Who is Venus?
You are correct.
Roman myths for 200. He presided over the Roman games, sort of like the deal the Greeks had with Zeus for the Olympics. Oh, Jupiter.
You are correct.
Shamu could tell you he's the Roman god of the sea world. Who is Neptune?
You are correct.
Roman myths for 400. One of the few gods whose name begins with U. He's the father of the Titans. Who is Uranus?
You are correct.
Let's have Roman myths for 500. Underworld figure who was boss of all down under, and we're not talking Australia. Who is Pluto?
You are correct.
And we're not talking about the Disney dog either. Let's go back to anatomy for 300. Even with your eyes shut, you can tell which way is up from your sense of balance in this organ. What is the ear, the inner ear?
You are correct.
Anatomy for 400. Unlike your fingers, the thumb has only this number of phalanges. What is 2?
You are correct.
Anatomy for 500. The answer there is the daily double. $1,900, I'll do $1,100. Along with the tarsal glands, these other glands provide lubrication for the eyes. What are the lacrimal glands?
You are correct.
$3,000. Let's take cattle for 100. It's defined as meat from calves less than 3 months old. What is lamb?
Sorry.
Oh no. Oh, veal.
You are correct.
Polled cattle naturally lack these. What are horns?
You are correct.
Term for a young cow that hasn't given birth yet. What's a heifer? Oh!
Sorry.
Oh man, I put an S instead of an R. And I know everybody out there is saying, Aubrey, slow down! That's a no can do.
Sorry. You are correct.
A really dumb person, or the toy Tommy Smothers plays with on his comedy hour. What's a yo-yo?
You are correct.
In a certain Coleridge poem, it proceeds everywhere, nor any drop to drink. What is water water?
You are correct.
It's the capital of American Samoa. What is Pago Pago?
You are correct.
A disease of the peripheral nerves caused by a vitamin B1 deficiency. What is beriberi?
You are correct.
The only #1 hit for the Mamas and the Papas. What is Monday Monday?
You are correct.
This state leads all others in the number of beef cattle. What is Texas?
You are correct.
Very good. Uruguay and this other South American country have per capita beef consumption higher than the U.S. What is Argentina?
You are correct.
Education for 100. Veterans were first granted funds to continue their education under this 1944 bill. What's the GI Bill?
You are correct.
U.S. educator who advised Teddy Roosevelt and tapped on racial problems and politics. Who was Booker T. Washington?
You are correct.
At most U.S. high school graduations, the second-ranking student gives the welcoming address. Who is the salutatorian?
You are correct.
The highest possible score on the math or verbal section of the Scholastic Aptitude Test. What is 800?
You are correct.
The language spoken at the first U.S. kindergarten opened in 1856 in Watertown, Wisconsin. What is German?
You are correct.
This Norwegian was an apothecary's apprentice before becoming the father of modern drama. Who is Henrik Ibsen?
You are correct.
The original comedian Deluxe performers wore masks and spoke this language. What is Italian?
You are correct.
Many ancient Greek plays featured a chorus of these mythical goat men. What are satyrs?
You are correct.
Developed in the 17th century, this form of theater has been called anagarta in female roles. Kabuki.
You are correct.
Spanish tragedy, a popular play of the 16th century, was written in this language. What is English?
You are correct.
So I have $7,800 at the end of the Jeopardy round, and we're about to get ready to play this round.
Double Jeopardy.
Let's get to it.
Here are the categories.
French phrases. See the USA. Fiction. World history. TV nostalgia, and finally, art. World Book says his unfinished portrait of Washington is probably the best known American one. Who's Gilbert Stuart?
You are correct.
Art 400. This DC museum was begun in 1937 with a donation from former Treasury Secretary Paul Mellon. What is the... Or no, what is the National Gallery of Art?
You are correct.
Okay. I was thinking, no, it can't be the Smithsonian. It's not the Museum of Modern Art, because that's in New York. 19th century art style of Courbet and Corot that stressed things as they actually were. What is surrealism?
You are correct.
Alright. $9,000. In 1933, Rockefeller Center destroyed this Mexican artist's mural because the figure was like Lenin. Who is Diego Rivera?
You are correct.
The Spanish Baroque artist included himself in the background of the Maids of Honor.
Sorry. Sorry. You know the correct response?
It's Diego Velázquez. Diego Velázquez. Alright, let's look over the categories carefully. I will take fiction for 200. Book 1 of this H.G. Wells work is entitled The Coming of the Martians. What's the War of the Worlds?
You are correct.
Let's have fiction for 400. We're at $10,000 right now. An 1861 sequel to Tom Brown's School Day sent Tom Brown to this British university. What is Oxford?
You are correct.
This 1844 novel was inspired by the memoirs of a 17th century soldier, Charles d'Artagnan. What is the Three Musketeers?
You are correct.
The first line of this book is, what can you say about a 25-year-old girl who died? What is Love Story?
You are correct.
The title of this James Clavell novel refers to Struan's, the oldest trading house in Hong Kong. What is Taipan?
Sorry.
No, that's not right. So I dropped down to 10,800. Oh, Noble House.
You are correct.
The facts are the theme song for the Split series peaked at number 3 in 1953. Dum-de-dum-dum. What is Dragnet?
You are correct.
TV Nostalgia for 400. It completes the title. I'm Dickens.
Sorry.
He's Fenster.
You are correct.
Guests have to swim to Joel's undersea lodge breathing through a hose in Key Largo in this state. What is Florida?
You are correct.
The Arkansas statue called the Christ of these mountains weighs over 1 million pounds. What are the Ozarks?
You are correct.
Sue the USA for 600. At Beckley in this state, you can tour a coal mine and see a play about the Hatfields and the McCoys.
Going. Going. No, the correct response?
Oh, West Virginia. West Virginia. There are fish ladders in Oregon and this state to help adult salmon swim past the Bonneville Dam. What is Washington?
You are correct.
In 1964, this barrier island off the coast of Long Island was made a national seashore. Oh, Fire Island.
You are correct.
FDR called December 7th, 1941, a date which will do this. What is Live in Infamy?
You are correct.
Let's go with World History for 400. Following his service in the American Revolution, Thaddeus Kosciuszko led a revolution here. What is Poland?
You are correct.
Alright. (1988) was the 400th anniversary of the defeat of the Spanish fleet. Of the Spanish fleet. And I just gave part away the answer. What is the Spanish Armada?
You are correct.
After these wars ended in 1485, the royal houses of York and Lancaster reunited. What were the Wars of the Roses?
You are correct.
After teaching French at the Connecticut Girls' School, he served as Premier of France in World War I. Oh, Georges Clemenceau.
You are correct.
Coup, the violent overthrow of a government, is short for this phrase. What is a coup de grace?
Sorry.
Oh, coup d'etat.
You are correct.
The French don't build castles in the air, but Chateau and Espagne castles here. What is Spain?
You are correct.
The answer there is one of the 2 daily doubles in the round. 14,600. Let's try 5,400. Alright, here's the clue. From the Paris Transport, for Paris Transport, you'd be on, if you're on the Chemin de Fer Metropolitan. What is a train?
You are correct.
$20,000. Kind of painting that's called a nature morte in French. What is a still life?
You are correct.
They're thin pancakes flavored with curacao and mandarin orange juice. What are crepes?
Sorry.
No. But with the amount I have right now, I'm not going to complain. It was crepes Suzette, so I had to put a little more.
You are
It was
correct.
crepes Suzette, and Jerry finally now has some money, $100. She won the Miss U.S. television contest in 1950, 5 years before marrying Ernie Kovacs. Oh, it's Edie Adams.
You are correct.
And the answer there is the other daily double. The intro to this Vince Edwards medical drama began Man, Woman, Birth, Death, Affinity.
You are correct.
And it's Ben Casey. Last clue. Western superstar who declined the lead role in Gunsmoke but introduced the first episode. Who's John Wayne?
You are correct.
$20,800. Alicia has $3,400, and Jerry is still alive with $100. Now we're going to move on to Final Jeopardy. And what's the category? It's double meanings. A metal pan for holding charcoal, or someone who works in brass. What is a brazier?
Know the correct response?
So I end up with $25,252. Excuse me, and I'll see you all for the next game following the break. We'll be right back.